Most COD players hate dealing with launcher spam. I mean, why can't you just use the gun like the rest of us? Launchers like the RPG, the War Machine, they strike fear into the hearts of all gun users, but that doesn't mean all launchers are created equal, my friends. There have actually been some really bad launchers throughout COD history, and it's our job to call them out. We've already gone over the best. Let's flip the script and let's go over the worst. What is up, everybody? Chaos here. Welcome to the channel. Today, this is the definitive 10 worst launchers in COD history, ever put in COD multiplayer. So let me know which of these you thought was the absolute worst. Drop a like. Guys, if you are into any type of giveaways, we're giving away $1,000. We're giving away a PS5, an Xbox Series X, 10 copies of Modern Warfare 2. Go follow the Chaos Comics Twitter. It is going to be juiced with giveaways for the rest of its life. The link is at the top of the description. I'll see you guys over there. We are trying to get to 50,000 followers on that Twitter. I hope to see you. Now, at number 10, the SMAW. Yeah, just the name, SMAW. It sounds dirty. From Modern Warfare 3. In theory, it was really good. On paper, it was really good. It could be free-fired pretty accurately, but it could also lock onto enemy streaks. That's a perfect blend of offensive and defensive firepower, right? So why is it on the list of the worst launchers at number 10? Well, because the SMAW had one fatal flaw. It almost made it useless. It came with one rocket. It was one of the most accurate and versatile launchers in COD history, but the only rocket you had when you spawned in was the one already in the launcher. If you wanted to fire it more than once, you basically had to be running Scavenger Pro, and while that wasn't a huge deal, it wasn't enough of a hassle to make it worth it. If you wanted to use a launcher in Modern Warfare 3, it was the Stinger or nothing. At least that one came with some reserve ammo, and yeah. At number 9, the M320 GLM in Modern Warfare 3. MW3 had some good launchers, don't get me wrong, so I don't mean to pick on it, but there's no middle ground. The launchers were either amazing or trash, and another one on the trash side was this one. This was a handheld grenade launcher, only 2 shots to fire before you were a sitting duck, and you had to wait almost 3 seconds before firing before you could shoot it again. The M320 also could not be hip-fired. It forced you to aim down the sights, which added a huge restriction to your mobility and reaction time when you were using it. Overall, it did nothing. It did nothing that the standard underbarrel grenade launcher attachment could do better, and for that reason, it's on this list. At number 8, the L4 Siege in Black Ops 3. Now, it's an awesome weapon in theory, but in practice, I don't think it was worth the supply drop grind. Maybe you disagree. You had to pull it from a supply drop. And to even get the chance of firing it, and once you got your hands on it, it didn't take long where some people felt ripped off. The launcher could fire 4 times. I mean, that's awesome, before needing to be reloaded. And all the rockets, it was something to look at, but it did such pitiful damage, you had to hit someone 2 to 3 times in order to get them out. In a game like Black Ops 3, that's extremely difficult to do because they're all jetpacking and wall running, so a weapon like the L4 Siege didn't really have a spot in the combat zone. Now, when it came to shooting down streaks, it was more useful, but since the rockets did reduce damage, you had to score a lot more hits on streaks in order to shoot them down. It was bad on offense, it was bad on defense. I think it's one of the worst launchers in COD history, but it's also one of the worst DLC weapons. At number 7, the dirty SMAW again. It returns. It's like a movie. The SMAW returns. Black Ops 2. I mean, it suffered pretty much all the same issues as Modern Warfare 3's version. A little weird, but stranger things have happened in COD. Once again, the SMAW was a launcher, could free fire or lock on, incredibly accurate, but it also didn't come with any reserve ammo, so the first shot was it. Scavenger did replenish rocket launcher ammo, but it meant if you wanted to use the SMAW, you would be using Scavenger, no matter what, which that's a pain. If you wanted to shoot stuff down, you had a lock-on launcher with more ammo. If you wanted to free fire, the RPG was more lethal and had more ammo too. It served no purpose in Black Ops 2. It was nobody's first choice, probably wasn't their last choice. At number 6, the Joker in Modern Warfare 2019. Now, at first, you'd be forgiven for thinking the Joker was going to be this new version of the iconic Javelin. Looks and functions exactly the same as a classic Modern Warfare 2 and 3 launcher, but one key difference. It's the slowest thing ever. The Joker is essentially the Javelin launcher, but once you pull the trigger and get that rocket in the air, it takes an eternity for it to come back down and hit the target. In Modern Warfare 2, the Javelin's trip only took a few seconds. Modern Warfare 3, it was slowed down a little, but not too ridiculous. The Joker took absolutely forever to hit its target, meaning if you shot it at a group of enemies, guess what? They're gone. They've dispersed by the time it comes down. I mean, it's a pretty good chance one of your teammates with a faster rocket launcher was going to beat you to the punch. It looked and sounded epic, had a cool name, super satisfying to get kills with, but it wasn't a good weapon in the grand scheme of things. It wasn't worth taking into battle. At number 5 today, the MAWS in Advanced Warfare. Not the SMAWs, the MAWS. Now, it first appeared as a score streak in Ghost, but it was brought back as a standard launcher in AW. Honestly, this was a good call, because the Moz was one of the most underwhelming streaks I've ever used. It simply wasn't strong enough to be a streak. It was a solid choice as a standard secondary in a game like Advanced Warfare. I mean, I thought it was. Comes with one rocket, no reserves. Has to be manually guided to its target. In theory, this would allow you to get some super cheesy kills on people hiding around corners or through doors, but in practice, it took you out of the action completely. Advanced Warfare was a very fast-paced game. Having to manually control this dinky little rocket to its target so you could get that stupid little hit marker that wasn't worth it, the effort, no. 2 strikes for the Moz. Comes back as DLC for Modern Warfare 2, and it sucks again. We legally are required to remove it from all of our hard drives. At number 4, the Thumper, Modern Warfare 2. I may get some heat for putting any Modern Warfare 2 launcher on this list, but the Thumper was kind of the odd one out. Now, Modern Warfare 2's launcher lineup was legendary. I think we'll all agree. The AT-4, the Stinger, the Javelin, the RPG, and of course the Noob Tubes. But the Thumper is just kind of sitting there in the shadows, not really getting a chance to shine, and I think I know why. It was a grenade launcher. It functioned practically identically to the underbarrel grenade launcher, but given the popularity of the assault rifle class and the grenade launcher attachment specifically, the Thumper was obsolete. Why would you take a dedicated grenade launcher as a secondary when you could throw one on the bottom of your gun? On paper, decent. Sounded awesome. But there wasn't a practical reason to use it. At number 3, the Howitzer in Infinite Warfare. If you were using launchers in Infinite Warfare, I have one question for you. I'm looking at you. Why? It's perhaps the most launcher-unfriendly game in the entire series, due to how weak they would be by default and how much the map design and the gameplay mechanics discourage you from using them on net. Launchers didn't get a lot of one-hit kills in the game due to the relatively small blast radiuses and abundance of advanced movement options that made it really hard to catch people with a slow-moving projectile like a rocket. All that being said, Howitzer was probably the worst of the bunch. Basically just a futuristic version of the China Lake, and it only performed slightly better. This grenade launcher fired quick shots. They would explode on impact. Came with a decent amount of ammo, but the problem was, it's like everything I mentioned about Infinite Warfare as a game. It's hard to catch people in a single shot with launchers in a game like this, and with the Howitzer's relatively low damage for an explosive, it usually required at least one follow-up shot to clear out your enemy. And the time it took you to get another shot out, the enemy was either completely gone or in the middle of killing you. Maybe I'm crazy, but I think the Howitzer was only one of the most pointless weapons in COD. A grenade launcher like this simply doesn't work in a game with advanced movement. At number 2 today, the M79 in Black Ops Cold War. If you were doing the Dark Matter grind in Cold War, you're probably very familiar with this. Now, it was technically labeled a special weapon instead of a launcher. It was special. It functionally was identical to the Modern Warfare 2 Thumper, so here it is. Grenade launcher could fire a pretty long distance, but the explosion was infamously weak if the target was using flak jacket. I'm really not sure why Treyarch put it in the special category, but they did. There was nothing special about it. It was weak, it was slow, and the only thing it was good for was slowing down your camo progress. And at number 1 today, probably not going to be a shocker to anybody, the China Lake in Black Ops 1, hands down the worst in COD history. It was hated by the community on launch day, and its reputation never got better. Classic handheld grenade launcher. I'll admit it looks and sounds cool. Can hold 2 shots at a time, doesn't start with any reserve ammo. The movement speed is also some of the slowest in the entire game, and to this day I have no idea why Treyarch decided to make this thing so unbelievably heavy. I mean, there was also a long animation that played in between your 2 shots, and the reload animation took forever, and that's assuming you found ammo on the ground to reload because, again, it didn't come with any reserve shots. You instantly transformed into a sloth using this gun. It was like you were running around in oatmeal. It was hilariously bad, and there's no doubt in my mind it's the worst launcher ever put in a Call of Duty multiplayer, and that is our definitive list. Let me know if you agree or disagree. If you want to get really engaged, give me your top 10 worst launchers in the comment section. Make sure you guys follow Chaos Comics for all the giveaway goodness, and I'll see you soon.